Hello, grade 9 science. So we're about to get into the physics unit, and a huge portion of physics is a mathematical component, and it's very important that you're able to convert units. So I have a couple examples that I want to run through for you, as well as on the videos attached to the PowerPoint, there's a few examples as well. So hopefully between these resources, you really understand how to convert units and you're understanding how to do it fairly quickly. So let's start off by looking at these first two examples. So if we want to convert 52 millimeters to centimeters, we need to think about how that's going to work. We know that a millimeter is smaller than a centimeter. So if I look at my converting metric lengths little chart over here, and unfortunately this chart would not be given on an assessment, but would be helpful for you to memorize. So if I look at my chart and I'm seeing my millimeters, well, I have millimeters and I'm trying to get to centimeters. So ultimately I'm going to divide by 10. So if I understand that pretty quickly, all I have to do is 52 divided by 10, and that's going to give me 5.2 centimeters. But I want to go a little bit further into understanding how that came to be. So let's look at this again. If I have 52 millimeters, I need to cancel out my millimeters units and I need to get it into centimeters. So I want to multiply by 1 centimeter over however many millimeters there are in a centimeter. Well, how do we know that? We could look at a ruler, we could look that. You should know this. There are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. So I'm going to divide by 10 millimeters. And that's still going to give me 5.2 centimeters. Because what it's done is, if we look at this, it just canceled out my millimeters, and I ended up doing 52 times 1 over 10, which is 5.2 centimeters. So either way, I got the same answer, but being able to understand how that works is important, and sometimes this box method at the bottom becomes more helpful when you get to complicated questions. So if we look at our second example, it says 1.9 meters to centimeters. So let's look at my little converting metric lengths chart again. I have meters, and this time I'll use blue. I have meters, and I'm trying to get to centimeters. So what I'm going to end up doing is multiplying by 10. So if I do this out, I have multiplying by 100. 1.9 times 100, which would equal 190 centimeters. Okay, now I'm going to go a little bit further into this. I have 1.9 meters to start, and I'm going to multiply by how many centimeters are there in a meter? There's 100 per 1 meter equals. What happens here is that these now cancel out my meters, and I'm left with 190 centimeters. Okay. Hopefully you're seeing how that works. Now let's move on to time. If we think about time, it's really important for us to be able to convert seconds to minutes to hours and vice versa. We don't really need to worry about the days and weeks right now, but I did throw a little picture in there. So let's look at trying to convert. Let's say we had 240 minutes to hours. Okay, well, if I have minutes, I'm right here. If I have minutes, let's get my colors out, and I'm trying to get to hours, I'm going to divide by 60. So we would do 200, and that's my highlighter, I don't want that. I can't erase it, I'll just do it beside it. 240 divided by 60 gives me 4 hours. Now, if we look at that, the long method, well, I have 240 minutes, and I want my minutes to cancel out. So I'm going to multiply by 1 hour over how many minutes are in an hour? Well, there's 60 minutes per hour. That's going to give me 4 hours, and we see that my minutes cancel out. Hopefully that's a helpful tutorial for understanding how to convert units. And if you're still struggling, please send me an email and we can get you sorted out.